At the VAB, what we do is we answer marketers' questions, and we've certainly received a lot of questions in the past 2 months. And this one is the one we've received the most questions about, which is how do I justify my advertising investment in an economic downturn? So what we did was we looked at over 100 years of data. And with that, what we found is that in an economic downturn, there is significant ramifications to your business outcomes if you actually stop advertising. So with that, we started to explore what all those ramifications are, and we want to take that and bring it out into the marketplace and explain it to marketers. If I was a marketer, and we have 5 takeaways in the report itself, but there are 2 that I would really hone in on. And if I was going to a CEO or a CFO and I was trying to justify why we should continue to advertise in an economic downturn, there are 2 things I would focus on. And the first is that maintaining your share of voice now will actually cost you less in the future. If you decrease your share of voice now, it'll result in a lower short-term profits, and it'll also cost you more to regain your market share in the future. And when I say maintain your share of voice, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to maintain your spend. It just means that you have to maintain where you are compared to your competition. And sometimes your competition, a lot of times in an economic downturn, starts to spend less. So that means you can actually spend less, but still maintain your share of voice in the marketplace. Secondly, what I would say to a CEO or a CFO is that this is actually a great time to go out and advertise. And what we've seen is that a lot of brands are starting to use this and have used economic downturns as opportunities to go out and to advertise. And we give examples in our report of in the 08-09 recession, there were big blue chip brands that actually catapulted their business to extraordinary growth because they kind of doubled down in an economic downturn. So examples of that are Walmart and T-Mobile and Amazon and Hershey's all went out and spent more on television advertising and really focused on brand building, and that has helped them since then. And what we've seen since the start of COVID-19 is a lot of DTC and challenger brands are doing the same thing. And they're looking at this as an opportunity to go out and build their brand and, try to take share in those marketplaces. So we've seen, NerdWallet and Tommy John and Grubhub go out and try to really make a mark for themselves.
What do the DTC companies want, and how have their sort of involvement maybe changed sort of the response or the participation or the work of your board members, of the programmers? How has that sort of changed the game?
Well, what we've seen is that our board members and our members themselves have really embraced DTC brands, and DTC brands have embraced them right back. I mean, the DTC brands have doubled down and tripled their advertising investment in television specifically. And the reason they've done that is because they have the best data and analytics in the business, and they see that television is what gives them the results. And our members on the other side have really started to work with the DTC brands, have formed groups that are specifically tailored towards D2C and talk to them in their language and work with them specifically. And I think that they've seen that there's a really great partnership between our members and the D2C brands. And I think that that's going to continue. And like I said, I think one of the reasons for that is because what D2C has seen is that, and what we have heard in the marketplace is that the D2C brands have seen that television really is their best performing channel. And so that they have seen the best ROI, the best business outcomes from television versus any other channel. So we have seen exponential growth every single year from all of the D2C brands. And like I said, I think what's really interesting in COVID-19 is the fact that these D2C brands are seeing this as an opportunity for them to go out and take market share. And I think that's something that legacy brands should really, be aware of and consider if they're thinking about pulling back their spend.
So Danielle, it's pretty exciting, the project that we're doing here at BTV with the VAB on this series of interviews with key board members and others in the industry. I wanted to ask you what your hope is from the series, the conversation that you hope to bring forward, and sort of what some of those topics are now.
Well, what I think will be really interesting is that obviously, I've heard a lot of the behind the scenes of what's been going on between, our members, our board members, and the agency heads. And I think what's so amazing is that the depth of the relationships that they have and how often they talk and how intimate that relationship is. And I think what I'm hoping to see is for people to see that firsthand and to see that there really is a true partnership there, and that even in these difficult and challenging times that, even though there's things, written in the press about what's going on in the marketplace, that they are talking to each other every single day, that they want to work together as a team, that they want to, both steer their clients and marketers in the right direction. So I'm hoping that that comes to fruition, and that you can see kind of the depth of that relationship, and that, Rita Farrow talking to Bill Koningsberg, or Laura Mullen talking to Bill Koningsberg, and you can kind of see that they really do, talk about the issues, and that they're really looking to be able to move the industry forward in a positive direction.
We're going to be very happy to debut it on June 15th. What are your hopes the impact of the series will be?
I hope that people come away and have a deeper understanding of what the issues are in the industry, and how those issues are being addressed. I hope it's a little bit of, let's peel back the curtain and be able to hear of how they're dealing with, the flexibility that I know that marketers are looking for, what's going on with live sports. I know there's a lot of questions about that, about programming, and the programming hiatus that's going on now, and how that's going to be dealt with, and how overall they're just, talking to each other about marketers' expectations, and what's going to be happening in the future. So I hope that this just allows more people into those conversations, and so that it doesn't seem like such a black box, which sometimes I think that people might feel that it is if you're on the outside.